Me, I've seen this Aussie man guy's posts sometimes and occasionally I watch them. I'm going to describe what happened because I keep telling you that when you think like I do, it won't make you popular. This happened in Australia and I feel sorry for Australian men because they're expected to man up and be super macho, it looks like. This guy gave me the booby prize for my response. Again, this is what happens when people don't agree with you, you get trolled. The scenario was, a guy was in public transit and he'd worked all day and was sore and tired. A pregnant woman came along and asked him to give up his seat. When he refused, she broke down crying and said she was pregnant, and he said, "I've been working all day and I'm tired and sore." He refused to give up his seat to her. I see her breaking down crying as a complete manipulation of this guy. How many other seats are there on a bus? She could have just moved to the next person and asked them. What is the big deal that she has to break down crying when she doesn't get what she wants? Could be hormones, you say. Pregnant women are emotional. Why create chaos out of this little situation? The fact is, this guy made a big deal of it. The Australians seem to be making a big deal of it because there was an web article written about this incident. What's the big deal? She could have asked someone else instead of trying to focus on getting him to give her what she wanted. There would be fewer dysfunctional relationships if people would do the same, I might add. People don't see the manipulation and they don't see the control others exercise over them. Admittedly, his caliber of video is based in the control over others system, he doesn't seem aware enough yet that he would leave it behind. He also wouldn't be as popular as he is. And he not only believes he gets to judge all else, but he's also the moral authority. He's not my authority nor should you let me be yours. All I ask is that you listen to what I have to say. I came back after he offered me the booby prize, and said I stood by my response. She could have just asked another person. How many seats are there on a bus? Women want equality. Well, now they have it. Some of you guys think that I bash men on here because I talk about my relationships. Now you see that's not the case, so stop thinking I'm bashing you. I'm not. I believe in fairness for all. So the point I'm trying to make here is that when you try to control and manipulate others, you make things a lot worse, not just for yourself but for everyone else on that bus. I'll bet most were feeling uncomfortable. I personally hate public transit and thank God I own my own car. Having just thrown this crying fit, perhaps there are people who might otherwise have given up their seat that now think they don't want to deal with her. Did she think of that? So this is what I'm trying to show you. Creating a scene only makes it worse. I have to sit and breathe and understand what is being shown to me, my ego is hooked. I keep going back on Facebook waiting for this guy to call me names, but being early afternoon in Canada, he's probably gone to bed because Oz is about 10 to 12 hours ahead of us. He's dreaming sweet dreams of being gallant while I'm sitting here waiting for him to comment again so I can discuss it with him or perhaps defend myself. My ego is hooked. I'm wondering where my self-mastery went. Down the toilet it looks like. Okay. My soul wants me to deal with this properly, by letting it go. That's what I have to do. Let it go. The post is on no notifications so I might or I might not get notified of his response. If he does, I have to take it upon myself to not respond, to drop the ball. Facebook will often send you notifications even if you specify you don't want them. I ask myself, what does this remind me of? My childhood when I had to defend myself constantly against people who thought differently than I did, and I ended up thinking like them anyway. A child will take on their parents' mindset without even realizing it. So this is what I'm still changing this late in my lifetime, the fact that they overwhelmed me and my defenses were inadequate to stop them. My father particularly was big on changing my thinking, his boundaries extended into my head. That is totally wrong. I don't care who does it. The lesson is, I'm hearing, you don't have to defend yourself. Wow. Think of it, All the arguing and fighting that goes on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, whatever, and it's not even necessary. You're not a child anymore, and people are not overwhelming like they were back then. I have set boundaries and use them, and I realize now I have choices, whereas then I didn't. Ivo, it is not necessary, my love. You do not have to defend yourself to this person. He is not trying to overwhelm you, and you do not have to change his opinion of you. You can agree to disagree even if he will not. If he comes back tomorrow to argue with you, or attack you, you do not have to defend yourself. In both of your worlds, you are both right. However, your outlook is more advanced. Men do get tired, and there were many more people on the bus she could have asked rather than creating a scene. It is simple when you are not into creating chaos. When you believe that chaos is the solution, you complicate your life and others. She did not respect this man. Neither does the poster. You do. He has a right to say no. Yes, machismo is about a man giving up his right to say no. Men have that right as well, but because they are serious policers of this unspoken law between them, other men do not take readily to being let down as a group. Me, pretty sad. Ivo, it is. Men get tired too. They get sore muscles. They work hard jobs. Me, that many women can't even do. Ivo, yes. And so they should garner respect for this. But they do not even get this respect from their contemporaries. Imagine the man who refuses to go to war. Yes, if all men would do this, exercise their right to say no, there would be no more wars because most of them are fought by men. This is about empowering the divine masculine as well, my love. Moving away from the toxic masculine model, which this poster is pushing. Men can say no and be respected for it. Me, thank you, Ivo. Ivo, as for you, stay off of Facebook until your need to defend yourself wanes. This energy must be released within you. Me, got it? Ivo, my love, you are standing on your own feet, embodying the light, being an example of the authentic, assertive person for all who wish to see. Many will not. Many will find these ego laws they have been living too tempting to remove themselves from. It is easier to bash another than to change one's ways. Being fair is more difficult than being unfair on your planet right now. Me, thanks, Ivo.